So the other day I got bored and wanted to play some Nacht, but I didn't want to sit in a game for like a week straight and play like 30 hours like last time when I went for around 1,000. So I decided to just try to learn the world record strategy for this, which is Nacht one door. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's Nacht, but you only open one door, which is the help door, and then you train in the box room where like the Thompson is and everything. And I had never really tried this other than like a long time ago when I was trying to get better at Noct before I had like decided to just start using the spawn room strat, which is what I used to get to 1,000 last time. But I decided to just try to learn this now because the next time I decide to go for a Nocti round, it would be good to know this strat because it is a lot faster than Spawn Room. Spawn Room, on average, for a flamethrower round, would take about 3 minutes per round, whereas this usually takes maybe 2 minutes, could be less, just depends on the spawns and everything. So I decided to just try and learn this, which is basically just open this door and nothing else, and train in here. And it is a lot harder than Spawn Room, just because this is a tighter area and it's very easy to get cut off. Basically, just one tiny mistake and your game can end. The early rounds of this play basically the same as all Noct games. You just buy the Thompson, which I assume pretty much everyone does on Noct, and then just play through the early rounds, hitting the box as much as possible for a ray gun and a flamethrower. I got very lucky and got the flamethrower super duper early, and so now I just need the ray gun because you kind of need that for early rounds just to get through them faster, and because it's just the best gun to actually have to get a zombie out of your way, even though it has insane splash damage. And something I noticed from this is that I actually think that the early rounds in this are much harder because it's a lot harder to get the zombies grouped up and hit them all with ray gun shots, because a lot of the time when I was grouping them up in this room, they would get into like a line rather than a group, and so I was going through ray gun ammo faster because I wasn't able to like hit them all with the splash damage. And then I got the ray gun at the very end of round 10, so I could really just start the strat now. And the strategy for these extremely low rounds, like before even round 20 or 25-ish, is literally just shoot a ray gun at anything that moves. Any zombie that comes near you, ray gun it immediately, because there's no reason to try to get them all grouped up on this low of a round. You're just putting yourself at risk for no reason at all. You're probably not going to run out of ammo unless you have the worst luck in like human existence. So basically just ray gun everything and you'll get through these rounds very easily. You barely even have to get them into like groups of 2 at all, literally. Just kill every single zombie in sight and you'll get through these rounds quick and easy. Once I got a little closer to round 20, I would start doing little loops around these like poles, and just to get them into smaller groups to ray gun them rather than just killing every single one. Like when it's just alone, I would just get them into smaller groups because you could run out of ammo now if you were really spamming. Probably not, but I was just getting them into small groups because this was my first attempt, and I actually didn't watch the tutorial on how to do this strat before it. I've seen the video before, but it was a very long time ago, so I was just kind of basing it off of like a memory of watching a Corrupt stream and trying to just remember what he did, so I was kind of just basing it off of what I remembered. Also, if you're like a hardcore Noct player, you might know that there's some lineups you can do to explode some barrels that are like up near the second story, because if you didn't know, you probably saw me explode all those barrels at the beginning of the game. Each one of those just like takes entities out of the game or whatever and extends your reset. I completely forgot to do that in this game, and also I was playing on Xbox One, and the reset for Xbox One is I think like 6 hours, so it doesn't really matter that I didn't because it's not like I'm going to be able to go that far anyway. I just wanted to at least try to get to like round 100 or something and just like get somewhat used to the strategy. But because Noct is one of the maps that I've played the most of my time on zombies, like I've gotten past round 100 on this map more times than I can even remember. So I really was expecting myself to at least be able to get to round 100, even if it just took me a couple attempts, because I mean, I've just played this so much, even with a different strat, I was kind of expecting myself to at least be able to get somewhat far. And for anyone else who doesn't know, Nacht, Verrückt, and Shinonuma on World at War only have 24 zombies per round because they were the first 3 maps ever made. So you do have that, but it's still like one mistake and your game's over just because there's no perks and no safety at all. And so here I decided to try to like start getting full hordes together because I was gonna run out of ray gun ammo if I wasn't. And so I started to like try the actual like horde up that you do for the high rounds. And that wasn't really that good of an idea. I should have just kept doing what I was doing, just kind of running around at those first two little pillars to get the horde together because it almost got me killed right there. And I kind of had to just escape, not like that was not part of the plan at all. I just got lucky that there were none blocking my back and I was able to get away. And so I just kept ray gunning because your ray gun can pretty much take you to at least like the mid 40s, maybe 50 if you have good max ammo luck. So yeah, that's pretty much what you do up to 50 is just ray gun. My max ammo luck this game was actually pretty good. I was getting very close to running out of ray gun ammo right here, and then the last zombie of the round dropped me a max ammo at the very end of 42, so that was pretty lucky because I was actually like about to run completely out. Then right here, I tried to get another like full horde. I started trying to do the horde up and just learn it, and I still wasn't very good at it because, like I said, I was kind of just basing it off of memory from watching Krup's stream, and it nearly went terrible. I got very lucky. I don't know how I did not die right here. I got very, very lucky to get out of that. So that was insane. And then here I am on round 49. You can kind of see what I meant when I said they get into like more of a line than a group. They just don't group up like enough for you to really be able to hit all of them. But maybe I was just doing something wrong because this still was only my first attempt, so I wasn't really too used to it. But I ended up running out of ammo right before I could end this round, and so it was time to just start using the flamethrower a lot more because I was completely out of ray gun ammo now and going on to round 50. And at this point, the spawns are pretty fast, so now I'm just going to show you the exact horde up that I was doing for like most of the game. You just start by this window, and then kind of just slowly back up. Once you realize you're getting closer, turn around, don't mess up like I did and let them jump out right next to you, because that could kill you. Then you just run over to this door, make sure to like hold the zombies right in front of you for a little bit, kind of just stagger them. You'll usually have like one or two spawn from that window I just ran past. And then from right here, you'll basically have all the zombies on the map. And then you just run back in front of this door, hold them here for a second, and run past them, and you'll have pretty much the full horde, and you can just start flamethrowing them. It seems a lot easier than it actually is because you have to be pretty precise with the timing of it, and you have to also be very good with like staggering them in front of you, because if you don't, some of them will just kind of run aimlessly around and will just block your path. It's happened to a lot of people from like streams and stuff that I've seen. So you have to just be like pretty precise with your movements while you're doing this, or you will just die because this room is kind of tight. And also you can see that like this is faster. This round in total took about a minute 45. So you can definitely see that this was faster because the rounds when I was playing in the spawn room were taking like 2.5 to 3 minutes usually. So it doesn't seem like that much of a time saver, but when you consider the fact that when I was going for high rounds in Nacht, I was playing over 1,000 rounds, you can definitely know that that is saving a lot of time. Here on round, like, going on to 52, I made a dumb play and decided to get rid of the ray gun right then. Usually keep it till 60, but I saw an insta-kill and decided to just get the Thompson, which was dumb because literally the first zombie I killed gave me a max ammo, so it would have been really nice to have my ray gun to be able to ray gun the next round. So yeah, make sure to keep your ray gun till like 60. Speaking of round 60, here's the clip of me hitting it, and I was actually pretty surprised to get this far on my very first attempt, because I literally had not done this strat in so long. My first ever round 50 on Nacht was actually doing this strat, but that was over a year ago at this point, and so I was just very happy to do that. And also, if you didn't know, at round 64, the spawn rate maxes out. So all the zombies will spawn in basically within like 5 seconds of the round starting. And so it just makes it a lot more consistent to get the full horde together because you're not going to have any like late spawners. You can occasionally, just because World at War is a pretty buggy game, but it's very rare. Then just a little bit later, I finished up round 68 to go on to round 69.
Nice.
And then while playing through round 69, I ended up getting a nuke that took me straight to round 70. And before you hit round 163, which is the start of insta-kill rounds, you basically just really hope for insta-kills and nukes because they'll speed up the game a lot. So yeah, you're pretty much just really hoping for those until you can hit 163. And then even past 163, they're still like very, very nice to have. And I gotta say, I was really happy to like learn this strategy because like this may come as a surprise for me to say since I've played this map so much, but high rounding this map was like actually some of the most boring like time I've ever had playing zombies because it was literally just walking in a circle with a flamethrower. This is at least more intense. It's probably gonna take me like more tries to get consistent with it and be able to like get really far just because I have to play so many hours to actually get to my own PB and get past it because I got to 1,297. So it will definitely take a while before I actually am able to get that far in this strategy. But it's still like really good to actually learn this because the spawn room is so easy to do that it's actually just so boring once you get far. And at some point, once I'm consistent with this strategy, I'll probably think it's boring as well. But for the time being, I think that this strat is actually pretty fun just because it's such a change of pace from all the Nacht I've played in my life just doing the spawn room. And maybe if I ever hit 2k subs, maybe I'll go for around 2k on Nacht because about round 2000 is top 3 on the leaderboard. So maybe I'll go for that at some point. But that'll probably be a while. And that game will definitely take a while, even though I'm doing the faster strategy if I was to do that, just because that's like double the amount that I played last time. My power-up luck when I was like in the 90s of this game was genuinely insane. Like it seemed like I was getting a nuke and insta-kill nearly every round. My drop luck was absolutely insane in the 90s of this. And now here I am on round 99, just starting out the round like I always would, starting out at this barrier, walking backwards. I was pretty consistent with the word up at this point because I'd been doing it for like over 30 rounds. And then there was a nuke back here that I guess I got last round that I didn't notice. So I just used that nuke to instantly end the entire round 99, and I hit round 100 on my very first attempt of this, which really did surprise me because even with all the Nacht and Untoten I've played, this was still a pretty new strategy to me. So hitting around 100 on my first game was actually exceeded my expectations for myself. And obviously I wasn't going to stop at 100, so just a little bit later, I was going on to round 115, which is the zombies number. So I was pretty happy with that. And the highest round I had ever gotten on Nacht on an Xbox One is 136 due to just the game not running well on Xbox One because of the backwards compatibility and being pretty like known to crash, at least in my experience with it, and also it resetting after like 6 hours. So I was basically just like, yeah, I'm just gonna play till the game crashes or I hit the reset, which I thought would be cool to hit a reset because I've never actually done that, even if it's only a 6 hour one and not really that impressive, just because I had never actually done that before. And when I started making YouTube videos, I like kind of started like looking back at my clips of the game, and it's really interesting to see like when I make mistakes because right here I make a mistake and you probably wouldn't notice it, but I just didn't stagger those zombies nearly long enough, so that one right there stayed on the other side and almost got my game ended. So it's just really interesting to see that I like am making mistakes and wouldn't even realize it unless I was actually going back and looking through the footage of it, just because it's such a small minor mistake that it really didn't seem that noticeable until I was just looking back through this footage for the video. Then after I hit 130, I was going on to 136, which was the highest I had ever gone on Xbox One because my game would always crash. This time it did not crash and I was playing faster, so maybe that helped, I don't know. But I got past that and then was on 139, and so I was about to hit my first 140 on Xbox One, which was cool. Not really that cool because I mean I've gotten past 140 a ton of times on Xbox 360, but just on Xbox One it has always crashed. So it was cool to get that on Xbox One and actually have a clip of it that's not my phone recording my TV this time. Right here, I'm just going to show you two very small mistakes that can absolutely get you killed. So when you're running past this door and you stand right here, make sure to stagger the zombies instead of just walking away from them right there like I did, because those zombies that were standing in front of the stairs can mess you up. Again, right here, I didn't stagger them, so I had two on the other side of the room that didn't have time to catch up, and I probably should have died, but I got insanely lucky, and World at War janky mechanics saved me. Again, on 143, guess who makes that same not staggering the zombies? Again, mistake. I run past all these and get scared and don't stagger them, so all of these ones have time to just meet me on this side, and it gets me killed. In the moment, I didn't even realize that I had messed up and thought, oh, I just got unlucky. But looking back at it, I can obviously see that it was my fault. I ran straight past them and didn't hold them at any time at all, and so I didn't give the other ones time to catch up. Just watching it back, yeah, you can see I ran completely past them, and I guess I just got scared because they were all so close to me that I kind of just walked away from them rather than letting them stop like that. And so I never gave any of this entire group over here time to catch up. And so they're all just over here waiting for me. And it just like got me completely trapped on 143. So it was just cool to look back at it and realize what I actually did wrong rather than just assuming I got unlucky. And so yeah, that's how my practice for the world record strat on Nacht went. So if I ever high round again, I'll definitely be using this strat and just try to get more consistent at it. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.